Okay, let's face it, the way we do business has forever changed. So, if you are a Christian business entrepreneur, you're gonna have to think differently and act differently if you wanna take advantage of the market opportunities out there. So here are 3 things you're gonna have to do if you wanna know how to run a successful business from today on forward. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am your host, Leo Landaverde, business coach, founder and CEO, helping you scale your business and increase your wealth. If you're ready to grow your business to 7 figures and beyond while creating the financial freedom and the lifestyle you want, then subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell and you'll be notified every time a new video comes out. Today we begin a new series of videos aimed specifically at those small business owners who are Christian entrepreneurs. So if you are a Christian business entrepreneur, this video is for you. So do you want to know how to run a successful company or business as a Christian entrepreneur? Well, here are 3 things you're going to have to do starting today. Number 1, you need to know your worth. So let me ask you a question. Do you know your worth? Do you know how much you're worth per hour, per week, per month? Because if you don't, nobody else will. Here's the thing. Perception is reality in the marketplace. So if the perception is that you give it all away, it will be gone. And because if you think it's free, then it's gonna be free for everybody. If you think you're worth $15 an hour, then the marketplace will bear those because you're gonna get what you deserve. So if you think you deserve more, you're gonna get more. If you think you deserve less, you're gonna get less. And this is the trap that a lot of Christian business owners fall into. Let me tell you what happens is, we go to church and we provide a service, and sometimes people come to us and say, hey, look, I want you to help me with this. I know it's in your area of expertise. I'm hoping if you'll give me some counseling. Before you know it, a 15-minute call turns into a 2-hour call, and basically you gave more than you needed to go. So basically you devalue your time by giving it away for free. People don't appreciate what comes to them for free. Let me say it again. If something comes for free to you, will you appreciate it more so than something that you pay for? You need to think about that. So if you think you're worth $15 an hour, then you are worth $15 an hour. If you think you're worth $200 an hour, then you're gonna be confidently charged $200 an hour. If you think you're worth $300 or more, well then you're gonna be confidently, and you should be able to get that because you're gonna get what you deserve. You deserve more, you're gonna get more. And you need to really understand your worth. And for that, I got a story for you. During a seminar, a group of individuals were asked to list the 7 wonders of the world. Most of them pondered for a while. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the Hanging of Gardens of Babylon, the Colossus of Rhodes. Some opted for more recent wonders of the world, as in the Eiffel Tower of Paris, the CN Tower of Toronto, the Panama Canal. After a few minutes had passed, the person in charge asked if anyone in the audience needed more time. Then a voice from the crowd said, I just don't know what to choose. There are so many. The sense of smell, the wonder of sight, the complexity of the brain, the marvel of the heart, the miracle of hearing, the magic of touch, the miracle of taste. And on she went. There was a silence in the crowd as everyone had been reminded how marvelous we really are. Do you realize how amazing God has made you? You are a wonderful creation. Apart from any achievement or failure you have ever experienced, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. The Bible says in Psalm 139:14 that I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know them full well. So, as I just read to you this story, you need to understand how fearfully and wonderfully made you are. Because if you know how powerful, how important you are to God and to your marketplace, then you're going to charge accordingly. So I know it will resonate with you because it resonates with me. Number 2, know your model. And by that I mean, know your business model. Understanding your business model is of critical importance because this is the part is you know how you make money. And this is where usually I come into play. My company gets hired to come and we help you understand your business model. And what I say is your business model is your money-making sweet spot, which happens at the intersection of three things. Number one, what your business is good at. You probably have several products or services that you offer, but you're gonna realize that 80% of your revenue comes from about 20% of your clients. And this one flagship service or product that you have brings a lot of the revenue. And that means that in your marketplace, that's what you're known for. That's how you made your name. That's what you're good at. You may have other things that may be less profitable, but you are not as good as those as you are with the main thing. Number two is what you're passionate about, right? It shows. When you're passionate about that service or product, it shows, it sells itself because you're very passionate about it. And usually I ask, my customers, I say, look, what gets you fired up in the morning? You may think, well, of course, my business gets me fired up in the morning. Remember, but if you own a business for any length of time, say you've been running your business for about 5 years, that passion may start to fade away. So you need to remind yourself, what is it that you started the company in the first place? There was something you were passionate about that you got excited about when you got up in the morning. You couldn't wait to do it, because if you really love what you're doing, then it's not work. Work is when you clock in. My definition is you clock in and clock out and you're dreading every minute of doing it. And that's what I haven't really worked a day in my life for the past, I probably haven't worked for the last 20 years because I've been doing what I love. So, and number three is what the market wants. So number one is what your business is good at. Number two is what you're passionate about. And number three is what the market wants. At the intersection of those three is where you get your money-making sweet spot and how you know your business model. Number three, know your numbers. And this is one of my favorite parts, because after all, I am an accountant and I own an accounting firm. Now, I am a numbers geek and I love just dicing and slicing numbers, but you should be very good. Nobody should know your numbers better than you do. And you know what happens is I start working with companies, or I consult with people from all over the country and call me and they start telling me about their business and about their numbers, and I start asking questions, and the more questions I ask, the less answers they have. So some of the things I want to know is, well, what is your, what's your gross profit? What's your cost of goods sold? What's your revenues? What's your salaries as a percentage of revenue? What is your net income? What is your year-over-year variance? What's your quarter-over-quarter variance? How's your business going up and down the last couple of months? And more importantly than the actual dollars themselves is the percentages of change. Everything that you measure about your business is measured as a percentage of your revenue. It could be, revenue has several forms. It could be your net sales. It could be your net revenue. It could be your income. There's many ways, but at the bottom line is all the money that comes into the company, you measure that as 100%, and everything else is measured against your revenue. So, accounting is the language of business. So if you haven't made a decision to learn accounting yet for your business, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to understand your business better than anybody else. You need to understand your numbers. You need to understand for every dollar that comes into the company, where does it go as it makes its way through the profit and loss, what you're spending every month. You need to understand what that is, what percentage they are, and how much is falling to the bottom line. So for instance, when I speak and I give conferences or different groups, I start, one of the things I say is, look, give me your balance sheet and your income statement. I'll tell you where you spend money at, and I'll tell you how good your business is. Because I understand different industries, what the percentages should be. So for instance, if you run a restaurant, I would expect your food cost to be about 27% or less. I would expect your gross profit to be about 63% or more. I would expect your net income to be at least 10 to 15 cents on the dollar. Why do I know this? Because those are the standards that I measure against, right? If you're in a professional services, you probably should have a higher gross margin or gross profit. You should have, if you're in manufacturing, you have higher cost of goods sold, which is, your inventory that gets expensed, etc., etc., etc. The point is, you need to know your numbers. Because if you don't, you're really not gonna know how much money you're making. Now, so a couple things here. So if you're looking at your numbers, and I encourage everyone that I work with that depending on the level of engagement that I have with you, I'm gonna look at your numbers on a monthly basis. If I'm retained as a CFO, I wanna tell you how your business did the last 30 days. How we did it. So if we're in May right now, we're gonna see how we did in April, versus January, how we did in January, February, March, and April. How does April this year looks at April last year? What is the variance? Is our sales going up or down? Is your business seasonal? Is your revenue fairly predictable? Does your revenue go up and down? What are your fixed costs? What are your variable costs? Your variable costs are those who go up and down with the revenue. If something goes up and down with the revenue, then chances are it is variable cost, chances are it is cost of goods sold. If your operating expense, if your expenses are fixed, like your rent, your salaries, your utilities, if you pay interest on loans, all of those things that fall in the profit and loss, well, those will be fairly fixed and predictable, which means that they don't change whether your revenue goes up and down. What I suggest most companies is, look, have the smallest operating expense you can have and try to get as much of that cost variable, because when it goes up, and it'll go up, and you'll have profit, but when it comes down, you won't have that many fixed costs. So that's probably material for another video. Okay, so let's recap. Number one, you gotta know your worth. Number two, you gotta know your model, your money-making model, or the money-making sweet spot. And number three is you gotta know your numbers. So was this video helpful to you? If so, please comment below. I love your comments. I read them and I respond within 24 hours. And also, if you have any ideas for other videos that I should be making, please tell me as well. Hey, if this video was helpful to you, you're really gonna like these two videos. Please watch them next. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell.